So guys, I got to tell you, it's so good to be outside today. It's been 6 weeks since I've been to camp. Haven't had much time to do much of anything really. All my weekends have been taken up by craft sales, selling up hot sauces, and we did really great this year. Sold a lot of sauces, made a lot of people happy, and set a lot of mouths on fire. But unfortunately, around the end of the season, we put too many back to back, and we got a little tired and burnt out over it. But now it's done. Finished off the last sale last weekend, and now I'm outdoors, and I'm telling you, it feels so good. I'm so happy to be out. Last time we were here, we set up trail cams. I recovered them, poked through them a little bit, and we got some footage. Unfortunately, one of them was set for camera. I had forgot to adjust it, and I got a bunch of pics, but no video. And on the other one, I got some video, so we'll go ahead and check those out at some point during this video. And for the time being, I got this tarp here set up. We're gonna go ahead and put a line right across here, set up the tarp. It'll help keep the wind off my back when we get the fire started for lunch, and then we'll just go from there. So for now, we got to go find some firewood and get that fire started and get some lunch going, and we'll chat a little bit about what's coming up. Stick around. So just over there, there's a huge top of a tree that fell off. And I found this giant branch here. Well, we won't call it giant, but it's a pretty big branch. But listen, everything is perfectly dry. So I guess the top part of the tree died off and it dropped these giant branches here, but this is like a one-stop shop for all my smalls and mediums. So this is going to be really nice, and it's super dry. It's great. Well, it's been a while since I've used the old flint and steel kit to get a fire started, but it's kind of fun. And it's a good skill to practice to really work on your tinder bundles, because on crappy conditions, you really have to pull at all the stops to make sure that you're going to get your ember for sure. Flint and steel is a good way to practice it. And what I like to do is, from time to time, is count how many blows it takes me to light it up, because if you process your materials correctly, it should be less and less each time. And if you can really get it in under 5 blows to light, then you've done a really good tinder bundle. And that's what I like to do anyway, just for fun, for challenges. But there you go, flint and steel kit and a fire all set up. So now let's get that tarp up, and we'll see if we can block some of that wind and create a little microclimate to get a little bit warmer, because it's -8 outside today with the wind, and it's a little bit on the chilly side. So we'll see if we can get warmed up and then get our lunch going. So guys, today's lunch, we got a can of corned beef, we got some potatoes, onions, and garlic, and we're gonna whip up some corned beef hash, and we're gonna spice it up with some spicy pepper medley. And I want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Fred at VE3FAL Fred. You go ahead and check out his channel. He's an awesome guy, and he led me on to this spicy pepper medley. I was a Montreal steak spice guy, still am, but this is very good, and actually my go-to now when I'm making my corned beef and my fried potatoes. So thanks a lot for that one, Fred, for the lead. Great tip. You don't need a tremendous amount, just enough to cover it up. Make sure the boil will get all the way through, and you'll be in business. Coming along, almost there. So when I was a kid, me and my dad and my grandfather, we went up to this this lake in Quebec to go do some trout fishing. And when we got there, you know, it was like a real rustic cabin. Like there was no real refrigerators. There was an ice box outside. You had to go get a chunk of ice outside in this big wooden framed sawdust bin. And you'd pull your chunk of your block of ice out with these big kind of ice hook, grappling hook type looking things, and you pull your ice out and chuck it in your fridge or your freezer, and you let your thing go, and put all your fish and all your food on the thing outside on the porch inside of this big, basically a giant cooler. And when we went there, there was a bunch of other fishermen there, and they had this big long table in this room. And my grandfather walked into the kitchen and decided he was going to make breakfast for everybody in the camp. And he took out, they had this giant cast iron pan. It must have been like 2 feet 2 feet in diameter, and they stuck it up on this gas stove, and it got to work. And that's the first time I ever had this meal, this corned beef hash. I kind of make it differently than my grandfather did. I don't have his exact recipe, but it's kind of a meal that touches my heart a little bit. You know, it's a really good memory from back in the day, and it's a really good hearty meal that'll keep you full and going full of energy for quite some time. And to be honest, I'm hoping that maybe in June next year I'll be able to take my son out with my dad, and the three of us, and maybe even my brother. The four of us will go out to do some fishing at that very same lake. Although it's not as rustic as it once was, and the owners aren't the same, but it's still a beautiful place to go visit. And I'd like to bring you guys there too if we can. But hopefully when June rolls around, we'll be able to get out there and do that. We've got a bowl going on here. Let's have a look. Oh yeah. Here we go. We're good. So we've been boiling for a little while now. I'm just going to drain off the water off of this. We're going to go ahead and put the meat in at the bottom. Get that started. Then we're going to re-add the potatoes after, and the onions and the garlic and the spices, and let that, and we'll hang her back up again for a little while and get her going. Onions and the garlic in there. Now usually I like to add a chunk of butter down to the bottom, mix it in with the potatoes and whatnot, but I forgot about it today. So what I'll probably do is I'll let that the fat run out of the corned beef, and I may just add a little bit of water just to add a little bit more moisture to it, maybe a little on the dry side, but it's not the end of the world. But I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes on the fire, and then we'll go ahead, add this and stir it up. We just need to let the corned beef kind of shrink on down and release some of its liquids, and then we'll have more room in the pot to be able to stir it up. I'm kind of excited actually this winter coming up. Just my brother picked up an ice tent, so I'm kind of hoping that I'll be able to get out and test out my winter sleeping bag. I got one of those British military sleeping bags picked up off of an army surplus store over here in Quebec, called Global Surplus or something like that. Kind of excited for that. Do an overnighter in there, right out on the ice. Should be fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it with my brother, or if I'm just going to do it solo, but we'll see. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cold, but it'll be nice to be able to get out there and stay out there at nighttime with a lantern and see if I can catch some different species of fish. Should be fun. Oh, it's hot. Almost there. So guys, just want to give you guys a quick update on the survival water filter. I actually killed one. It's not at the fault of the design of the thing, of the water bottle itself. It is my fault. While I was packing up and getting ready to go, I had strapped my grill to the outside of my pack, and I had this hanging on it to the outside of my pack, and it was swinging into one of the little edges that was actually quite sharp when I touched it with my finger, and I had sliced it up. But this one is still going strong. I've used it many times. I've brought it to work with me. Can't really say much bad about it, besides the fact that it is a water bag, and don't do stupid things with it and you won't break it. Which is basically what I could say. And I did a stupid thing. I had this bag attached too close to something sharp, and I punctured holes into it. But I just wanted to give you that update, so in the future, if you don't see me carrying two, you know why. But right here I still have one. It's going strong, and I still give it 2 thumbs up. Absolutely love this meal. It's one of my favorites. It's really tasty, really hearty, fills you up, warms you up, and it'll keep you going for the better part of a day. Quite often I make this in the morning for breakfast with some eggs and bacon, and then I head out on the trails or out on the boat and hit the waters pretty hard fishing all day long. And I only need like a couple of nuts and a drinks and some water to keep me going later on, just before supper time. Gets you good and filled up, and gives you energy to go all day. Don't think I can do it. Oh, I gave it a good shot. Whew, it's a good thing I didn't put in that extra potato. No way that was going down. Man, One more bite. All right, I'm done. So guys, the one thing that sucks about wintertime is that, man, does it get dark early. We're coming up to 3 o'clock now, and it starts getting dark here at 4. So I got about an hour to pack up, clean up, get out of here, make sure that fire's out, and hit the trails. But before I go, I just want to give a big thanks to all you guys that stuck around watching my channel for the last year, for the last few years anyway. All of you guys, I really appreciate your comments. For you new guys that have just recently joined the channel, please don't be shy to comment. You know, we always have something new we can learn from each other. And if you guys have any comments or you see something that I've done that you'd like to ask questions about or give me tips, please feel free. I'm open to everything. So just want to welcome all you new guys to the channel. Say thank you to all you guys that have been around forever. I really appreciate it. I really do. So I think I'm going to wrap this up, start packing up and head on out of here. And maybe roll on out of here, because man, am I full. But I'll hit the trails, and keep your eyes open. So at the end of this video, I'll see if I can put up some of that trail cam footage that I picked up. Hopefully everything works out all right. But thanks again for watching, guys. You get out and explore, and I'll see you in the next one. We've recently had some sightings of coy wolves in this area, and I've been hearing barking and howling all day long. I haven't been able to get it on camera, but they're probably pretty close. Maybe not too close. But I got my buddy Husqvarna to protect me.